Bushcraft 412. Today I want to do a quick video on how to make a really super fast and cheap improvised tactical sling. Now, sometimes, you know, the shit hits the fan when you're least expecting it and you just haven't had time to get out and buy that tactical sling you always wanted, or for whatever reason, maybe your gun just doesn't have good setup to get a good tactical sling on it. I want to show you a quick way where you can improvise one. Now granted, guys, this is not the most comfortable way to do this on earth, but it works. All you need is some paracord and a carabiner. And of course you can substitute these items with other things. You can substitute them with nylon webbing if you don't like using paracord, and instead of a carabiner you can use a keychain ring or whatever, but anything, you know, depending on whether you want this to be a permanent fixture or temporary. I figured since this is an emergency, you know, tactical sling, the paracord and the carabiner will work great because they are temporary. So let's get into how to do this. First thing, what you're going to need is 2 pieces of paracord, and you're going to have to cut these to length. And we'll go over the first one first and the second one second. First one, what you want is basically a loop of paracord. For those of you who are familiar with climbing, essentially what you want is an autoblock. A nice loop of paracord, or you can use any other cord you want if you want to use climbing cord or something like that. And I just tied a cheap fisherman's knot into this just for demonstration purposes. If I were going to make one of these for real, I'd probably tie it with a slightly better knot. And how we're going to affix this with the gun is, like what I said, there's 2 ways I'm going to show you real quick. One is basically how like an auto block would work. We're going to try and get the knot. Basically what you're going to do is just wrap the rope around until tension is out. And you may have to cut your rope and adjust your rope a little bit to get it just right. And then once you have that set, you're going to clip one end, you can see, and then clip through the other end so that you have both ends secured. So now what you have there is a very quick, dirty, and nasty carabiner mount. Now granted, if you are using a carabiner, there is that possibility it could mar up the finish on your stock or your gun, so bear that in mind. Plus this is a kel-tec and it has a takedown pin, so I gotta make sure I'm careful not to plug that up because I do want the capability to take this down while I'm working with it. And also, you're going to want to put this on, depending on whether you're right or left-handed, you may need to make some adjustments. Part 2 is just as easy. What I've done is made the same exact thing, which is a loop of paracord with a little fisherman's knot holding it together. And what this does is this goes either over your neck, or over your arms, or over one arm and into your armpit, but basically this is your tactical single point sling. Now, how I like to wear this after experimenting is I put this over my weak shoulder and under my strong shoulder, and that allows the gun to ride in my my strong side armpit. And what I've done here, as you can see, is I've taken and put just tied a little loop into the end, kind of like just by doing this, you know, just making a loop like that. That's how I did it. And that loop is where I'm going to connect my carabiner. Now this loop is not necessary, but I like it because I feel it gives me a little more control. So now from here, I'm just going to hook this loop onto the carabiner. And this would go up and over my neck, or up and over my shoulder and armpit. And basically what you have is a single point sling. And as you can see, it pivots in every direction. It pivots, it turns somewhat, so you have a lot of flexibility with it. And of course what you're going to have to do is adjust this so that it fits your body perfectly. So you're going to have to tweak this system a little bit. So I wouldn't make anything permanent until you've tested it out. And I wear this, like I said, over my weak shoulder and under my strong shoulder. And basically it rides just like a nice little tactical sling. It rides in my the gun rides in my armpit, kind of in front of me. Now another thing you can do is wear this like a necklace, and then the gun will just ride in the front on your chest. Or you can wear it the opposite way, which is to put it over your strong arm and under your weak arm, and then from there the gun will ride in your weak on your weak side. And what you do with that is basically you just pull the gun and the paracord will slide against your body. Because really, there's not going to be much friction, so you can just swivel this around and bring it up to your strong shoulder. So many different ways you can wear this setup. And plus, if you're creative, you can actually do the same thing and make this a 2-point sling. Now, like, you're only limited by your own creativity in this, guys. You know, whether you want to use nylon straps or paracord or whatever materials you want to use, you don't need to go out and spend $50 on a tactical sling for something you might never use. If you're going to use it, fine, but if you just want it for shit hits the fan, you can do it just like this. Now, the other way I'm going to show you to tie this would be like a prussik knot, which we're going to do with this one, which is basically come through, and I bring it through the carabiner, and then wrap it around, through again. Of course, like I said, this is going to take a little time to get this so that it fits your rifle perfectly. This one I just kind of did real quick. But now, a little bit of adjusting, you have a second sling point. This one, of course, needs to be tightened. It's not, you know, correct. But I just cut that paracord real quick. I actually kind of thought of that on the fly. But so now you have 2 points where you can connect it either way you choose, or use a separate, you know, kind of bandolier to attach it to. It's up to you. But like I said, guys, this is a quick, dirty, nasty way to attach a make your gun into a tactical sling. And once again, the ways I used to attach it, if you're not familiar with climbing, just Google this or look it up on YouTube. The first way is called an autoblock, A-U-T-O-B-L-O-C. It's just a way to rig up rope so that as you pull on it, it tightens and creates friction and holds it in place. Very common for self-rescue. The other one is called a prussik knot. Same idea, just, you know, look them up, and that's what I use to attach both of these. Figure out which one works best for you. I like the autoblock better because it gives you a little more range and versatility. But as you can see here, you can. We're going to bring this down, attach this to this, and now, as you can see, we have a very rudimentary 2-point sling. Now, granted, these carabiners are pretty gigantic. They're for climbing. I definitely replace them out with some smaller carabiners, but neat little way to do this. Going to take some adjusting and some playing, and, you know, if you are going to use something like this, you know, you can definitely use nylon straps and like belt buckles or whatever. There's all kinds of neat stuff, but there's no need to go out and spend $50 on a tactical sling if you don't want to. Bushcraft 412 with my improvised tactical sling.